Topic, concealed weapons permits. Now, over the weekend, police say a robbery suspect was shot and killed by another customer who had a concealed weapon at a North Charleston Waffle House. Attorney David Aylor is here to weigh in. And David, this is kind of a changing case because we just got brand new information yesterday. So kind of set us up and tell me how this whole thing played out.
Right. Well, you're the Waffle House over on Dorchester Road, and it was pretty early in the morning. It was 5 a.m. on Saturday morning, and an individual came into the Waffle House with a weapon, which of course they didn't know at the time whether it was loaded or not. Of course, robbed the place. And apparently, what originally was thought was that a customer that was inside the Waffle House had actually used his firearm to shoot him. However, now we have news that came out that says, in fact, a person was outside the Waffle House when the individual who had robbed the Waffle House was coming out with the cash register, all the money. He asked him to put his gun down. He didn't. And then, of course, the actual robber allegedly shot to the citizen, who then fired back, struck the individual, who unfortunately, of course, has passed at this point. So that person did have a concealed weapons permit, and it looks like no charges will be brought.
Wow. So originally we thought it was inside the Waffle House. Now we find out that there was actually gunfire exchanged outside of the Waffle House.
Right, within the parking lot.
Okay, so my first question, the customer who shot and killed him, why no charge? Why are no charges being filed?
Well, because you have two different types of things when you look at this. We're very familiar with stand your ground laws here in South Carolina. We heard about it in different cases, particularly in Florida. But you have defense of yourself, and then of course you have defense of others. You have somebody that has a loaded weapon walking around in public, just robbed a number of people inside. You're trying to stop that person because you don't know where they're going next. So at that point, when he tries to stop the individual and says, ask him, allegedly, at least from what the reports have said, and I know nothing more than what's been reported, put your gun down. At that point, it's alleged that the person then shot towards the citizen. That citizen was being covered by an SUV that he was standing behind, and then at that point, he absolutely, of course, could fire back because that's legally within his right.
Protecting himself.
Right.
Had he not been shot at, had he just seen the guy come out and he initiated the gunfire, the customer, would he still not have charges filed against him?
More than likely, he probably would not have, simply because of the fact that the person was armed. You have to look at it from the angle of.
So he was still threatened.
Right. You're still feeling threatened. You have someone that has a weapon that's, looking to potentially use it against you, again, or someone else. They've already gone in the store or the restaurant. They've already robbed people inside their restaurant using that weapon. So at that point, to use your defense, which in his case happens to be a gun that he legally permitted, then, usually you're going to look at it from the standpoint of, is that self-defense? And it most definitely would be within the law.
Okay, let's talk about the whole concealed weapons issue. Had he been inside and pulled out his gun there, his concealed weapon, would that have been okay?
In the Waffle House, particularly that location and the other ones, yes. And the reason why is because obviously within South Carolina, we have a concealed weapons permit that allows you to bring a gun into a restaurant or bar. However, if a restaurant has a sign outside the door that does not allow that, then it would not be okay. You'd be in violation of that. Or if you're drinking alcohol, Waffle House does not serve alcohol. That's not an issue with them. But he absolutely would have been okay if it actually happened within the store. Luckily, no one else was hurt. It didn't happen within the store. It's complete tragedy that this young man lost his life. However, obviously, this citizen was only trying to help others.
Obviously, a controversial topic, people arguing for both sides of this case. Do you think there's anything to be learned from this?
Yeah, I mean, I think it really comes down to when you have violence, obviously things are going to happen, but particularly when you're looking at a situation where someone is exposing themselves to the public, threatening public with a weapon, there's a chance that they may end up individually being the person that ends up hurt. That's a situation that happened here simply because people are allowed to protect themselves.
All right, Trial Tuesday with attorney David Aylor, always an interesting conversation. And stick with us, we've got much more on Low Country Live right after this.